For thousands of years, the pyramids of Egypt have stood in plain sight. They are among the most studied structures in human history. Measured, mapped, excavated, and analyzed for centuries. And yet, some of the most debated images in all of ancient history are not found inside the pyramids themselves. They are carved into stone walls nearby. Images that, at first glance, appear strangely familiar. To some observers, these carvings resemble modern machines, aircraft, even helicopters. To others, they represent something very different, a reminder of how easily the human mind searches for patterns, even where none were intended. Tonight, we're not here to prove anything. We're here to look carefully at the pyramids, at the hieroglyphs, and at the question that continues to divide opinion. I'm Chris, and this is the Alien Avocado. The pyramids of Egypt were constructed during the Old and Middle Kingdom periods, roughly between 2600 and 1800 BCE. Their primary purpose, according to mainstream archaeology, was religious. They were royal tombs, built to house the remains of pharaohs and to assist their journey into the afterlife. The most famous of these structures is the Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2560 BCE. Originally standing at over 480 feet tall, the Great Pyramid was constructed using approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing several tons. Most historians and Egyptologists agree that the pyramid was built using organized labor, careful planning, and techniques that developed gradually over generations. The pyramids were not isolated monuments. They were part of a larger cultural and spiritual system, one that viewed the pharaoh as both ruler and divine. Hieroglyphs, the formal writing system of ancient Egypt, reflected this worldview. They were not simply letters. They were symbolic, layered, and deeply connected to religious belief. According to the historical record, pyramids and hieroglyphs represent human achievement, spiritual expression, accumulated knowledge. That is the official story. The odd detail. But there are details that complicate the explanation. The Great Pyramid displays an extraordinary level of precision. Its base is level to within inches. Its sides align closely with the cardinal directions. These features have sparked debate for decades. But the most controversial imagery associated with ancient Egypt is not found in Giza. It appears at the Temple of Seti I in Abydos. Carved into stone beam above a hallway are a series of overlapping hieroglyphs. To some viewers, these carvings appear to resemble modern machines: a helicopter, a submarine, an aircraft. These images have circulated widely in books, documentaries, and online discussions. And for many, they raise an unsettling question. How could ancient Egyptians depict machines that would not exist for thousands of years? Theories and interpretations. There are several explanations for these carvings. The most widely accepted explanation among scholars involves a phenomenon known as palimpsest. In ancient Egypt, it was common for later rulers to alter or overwrite inscriptions left by earlier pharaohs. At Abydos, inscriptions carved during the reign of Seti I were later filled with plaster and recarved during the reign of Ramesses II. Over time, erosion caused portions of both inscriptions to remain visible. The result is a composite image, one that was never intended to be seen as a single carving. To Egyptologists, this explanation aligns with known historical practices and physical evidence. However, alternative interpretations persist. Some ancient alien theorists suggest these carvings represent literal depictions of advanced technology. They argue that ancient civilizations may have encountered non-human visitors who shared knowledge or demonstrated machines beyond the capabilities of the time. Others propose symbolic explanations, that the carvings represent mythological objects or abstract concepts that only resemble modern machines when viewed through contemporary lens. This effect is known as pareidolia, the tendency of the human brain to recognize familiar patterns in ambiguous images. The same process that causes us to see faces in clouds or shapes in shadows. Each interpretation depends not only on the carvings themselves, but on how we choose to interpret them. The Big Q. So here is the big question. Are these carvings evidence of something extraordinary? Or are they evidence of how modern perspective can distort ancient meaning? If the images are purely symbolic, why do they appear so familiar to modern eyes? And if they are literal depictions, where is the supporting evidence. No tools, no materials, no corroborating records. The question is not whether Egyptians were capable of remarkable achievements. They clearly were. The question is whether we are underestimating human ingenuity or overestimating the mystery. Why this still matters. These images continue to fascinate because they challenge how we view the past. They sit at the intersection of history, imagination, and belief. They force us to confront the possibility that ancient civilizations may have understood more than we often assume. At the same time, they remind us how easily modern ideas can be projected backward. In an age of rapid technological advancement, it is tempting to believe progress must come from outside intervention, that someone else showed us the way. Whether these hieroglyphs represent lost knowledge, symbolic language, or misunderstood carvings, they continue to shape popular culture and online debate. And that alone makes them worth examining carefully. Here is the measured take. There is no credible evidence that aliens built the pyramids. There is also no question that ancient civilizations accomplished feats that still inspire awe. What these carvings at Abydos truly represent may never fully be resolved. But perhaps the most important takeaway is this: mystery does not require an extraterrestrial explanation to be meaningful. Or does it? And skepticism does not require dismissing curiosity. Sometimes the most interesting space exists between certainty and speculation, between what we know and what we still don't understand. And that space is worth exploring. I'm Chris. This is the Alien Avocado.